The third edition of Cargo NXT Conference and Recognitions marked its Western India debut on 25th April 2025 in Mumbai, bringing together India's top logistics minds to chart the future of global trade. Business Session 1, titled Unlocking India's Export Potential, Enhancing Global Competitiveness in the Current Geo-Economic Landscape, explored strategies to elevate India's export strength in today's dynamic geo-economic climate. Presented in collaboration with Logitrust Global Solutions, this session brought together industry leaders for strengthening India's global export presence. Nitin Dikshit opened the discussion by highlighting India's growing role as a global export hub, stressing the shift from cost to quality, sustainability, and innovation as key competitiveness drivers.
It is so important that people are looking to India as one of the export hub. And that's why I said it is not just timely because of tariffs which are being led, but it is also essential for India to really make a growth in export sector. Despite a lot of global disruptions, whether it be pandemic, be it supply chain shocks, or whether it is geopolitical shifts, the India's economy has grown. And as economy has grown, so as exports has really grown in last few years. From traditional sectors like textiles, agriculture, India's export basket is diversifying in last few years. And now it is going to industries such as pharmaceuticals, electronics, and even we are really making some strides toward defense and many other sectors. While opportunities in exports are immense, so are the challenges. The competition is no longer just about cost. But in my view, it is about quality, it is about sustainability, it is about also reliability, and also what value-added innovation that will make us to be competitive and more needle of performance in our global competitive index and global logistics performance to further right side.
Vaibhav Vohra limelight India's labor cost advantage, the need for productivity, and how supply chain unpredictability affects export reliability.
There is a larger cost of inventory holding that Indian exporters need to account for, because this is something that we have to be prepared with. So there has to be financial modeling that has to be built around this. The geopolitical advantages that India is sitting on, I guess, with the two giants fighting, America and China, are definitely going to speed up this process. But this was naturally going to happen. This is only possible because when you give the world a definitive plan, you see, this is again an argument that I hear from the US and European or any importing countries, is when they talk about India, they say, look, we love India's cultural demography and the diversity. Well, that comes at a cost. The cost here is that every region has a separate festival and a separate celebration across the year. Now in India, when you are working on these supply chains, you don't know what you're going to get hit with. Because your raw material is probably coming from a region in India which is celebrating a different holiday. So your reliability goes for a toss.
Harish Shetty addressed the imbalance in multimodal logistics, urging better use of rail and inland waterways to reduce costs and unlock capacity.
Industry has realized that what is the gap. And that's the reason of these policies of government which has come in, Gati Shakti, or for that matter. Last 15 years, you see there have been tremendous change in the whole ecosystem of logistics. The major bottlenecks for this particular aspect, if you look at it, the model is actually skewed only towards the, road transportation. Okay, in the entire multimodal ecosystem, if you see, it is the major thrust is only on the road. 70% of the things is actually on the road. Whereas we have still more other modes of transport like rail, inland waterways is something which we are. We are God gifted with the water connectivity and the river connectivity, but we're still not optimally utilizing that. There are infrastructure, but due to the various challenges, we are unable to utilize that. What is more important is that the ecosystem around that needs to be also improvised much faster in the next 10 days. Why? Because today, even that industry, even in the network scenario, the industry is scattered. You see a lot of unorganized players in the market. Okay, there's a lot of opportunity to optimize the resource which have been deployed out there. So I see that to reduce the cost, what is important is that all modes of transport needs to be explored. Okay, there would be initial cost which will be high, But if that is put in efforts, we definitely see in the ecosystem more options available for freight transport.
Pratap Singh Chauhan emphasized the hidden costs in logistics and the urgent need for speed, digitization, and automation to reduce inefficiencies.
Maximally, the goods are maybe in transit, or maybe if that is coming to our plant or maybe our go down, so that is going to carry our stock only. So we never counted this is its impact to cash cycle actually. So means if in terms of delivery, means as on today means we are just asking a pizza or maybe another things that is going to be delivered 10 minutes or 15 minutes. We want a logistics in that way only. In some of the sector, yes, of course that is going to be happen. In e-commerce that is going to happen. But whenever we are talking about bulk or maybe the drugs, so still there are some that gaps are available where we are lacking. So maybe in coming year we can improvement on that. Improvement is going on that. See, as of today we are talking about manpower. A lot of digitalization and automation is going to be happen within India and global as well. So means expecting the cost can reduction can be happen from that I believe, because we are not going to get the labor incoming if we are talking about 5 years or 10 years. Nobody want to the future it should be that production manpower or maybe the level class.
Subodh Nagrasekar stressed shared logistics as a cost-saving and sustainable solution and called for skilled drivers in critical freight sectors.
One way manage the inland freight cost is, this concept is now slowly picking up, is to go for shared resources. Yes. And more so in pharma companies, this concept is getting popular. So, 2, 3, the earlier concept was, each company will have their own warehouse individually, separately, and then they will do the individual transportation. Now, today's concept is, suppose there are 3, 4 pharmaceutical companies, they can have a common warehouse, the shared warehouse, and even if they have to dispatch something from Bhiwandi to Bangalore, they can manage in a single 40 feet container, 40 feet vehicle. All 4 of them can come together and send it out. So that will definitely bring the inland freight cost down, and that will also support sustainability. The driver has to be trained and certified for transporting the hazardous goods. And I would say there is absolute scarcity of trained hazardous drivers. And despite there are plenty of institutes who encourage, who even give free of cost training to drivers, but they don't come forward. Because a driver doesn't want to promote his own son as a driver. So we really need to, I wouldn't say glamorize, but we really need to give some kind of, I would say, a good label to this logistics industry overall.
Let's hear what the industry leaders have to say.
Global supply chain is a dynamic system where it is depending upon the infrastructure, it is depending upon the cross-border challenges, it is depending upon the geopolitical situation, the trade wars. So it is always an evolving situation where the shift will always take place from places to places, regions to regions, and from person to person. Cargo Next has been always good to partner with FFA also. We foresee this Cargo NXT has been one of the biggest magazines reaching the people across the logistics leaders. Not only leaders but also find the insights to the knowledge sharing for the newcomers into this industry at the management level, at the MD level. So this is what is required in the industry.
This is a wonderful opportunity. I'm grateful for Cargo Next to provide such a great platform where you have the industry leaders here, getting insight from them, getting the latest what is happening in the industry. And it is opportunity for the people to learn and come together, discuss, exchange idea. So many things are happening, and these are the platform where industry can really discuss and understand and take the initiative to support the industry and take this industry to the next level.
PM Gati Shakti is a wonderful concept, and Viksit Bharat is also an amazing concept. But I can dare say, because I participate in numerous conferences and interaction, except few government officials, neither the media nor the trade have really understood what is PM Gati Shakti. I can see even today allocation of 1 lakh crores or so, but that's not PM Gati Shakti is about. Well, it was wonderful joining this event. The best part was we had a full audience. and I have good panelists with me.
Being a part of events such as this is always very enthralling. Learning from experts, speakers who have such experience and domain. Being a part of such conferences just makes your knowledge upgrade. You get exposure of what's happening around the world, what direction businesses are taking, and eventually where should we go as participants. So, I think we should congratulate Carbon Insights for having such a program. Initiatives such as this only help publicize what's happening in this industry. Eventually, we as logisticians, we do a lot of work in ensuring this rates, but it is magazines such as Cargo Insights that have delivered. I think what they have been doing is bringing news. What Cargo Insights have been doing, bringing news at the right time, at the right place.
The panel underscored a shared vision to make India a globally competitive, future-ready export powerhouse. Cargo NXT thanks all partners, speakers, and attendees for contributing to a powerful dialogue on India's global trade future. Stay tuned to Cargo Insights TV for more conversations shaping tomorrow's logistics. Until next time, keep moving forward.